What's up, everybody? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel, and then follow me on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter so you guys don't miss any of our content over the course of this season. All right, let's talk some basketball. All right, Rockets Mavs, super fun game. The Rockets jumped them early. Dallas battles back, sends it to OT. Off of a Dante Exum 3. We're going to go through some of that on film as well. Dallas gets a big win. Kyrie Irving had 48 points in this game. We're starting on film by looking at Kyrie Irving's footwork. Now, one of the things I talk about a lot on this show is footwork is the means with which you get to your spots. So there's a spot on the floor you're trying to get to. If you do not have quality footwork, you're not going to be able to get there. This one starts with Kyrie Irving ISOing Dillon Brooks, one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. He's going to use a dribble combination to get down here to the middle of the floor. And when he gets here, watch this. Right here, he's going to spin. But spinning is tough footwork. And a spin move by itself is not enough. He needs to spin and then take two long steps to get to the rim. Let's watch it in real speed first. Watch how strong these steps are. Spin, 1, 2, up to the basket to finish through contact. Literally, he had the strength off of the spin move to go take two additional lunging steps through a bigger, stronger defender and to finish at the rim. Just watch the power in his lower body as he makes this spin move. And this is perfect footwork. Boom, spin, but he maintains that line of power going towards the basket and finish. Just incredible footwork from Kyrie Irving. And again, that's a spot he's trying to get to, that his spin move footwork is what allowed him to get there. Same type of thing here, working in ISO against Jalen Green. Drives left, right? Gets cut off. Then he's going to step through with his left foot to set Jalen Green up for a fadeaway. Step through, pump fake, spin over his right shoulder. Look at this footwork. Watch this again. I'm going to put it in slow motion this time. Watch Kyrie's footwork as he gets down here. Boom. Step through with the left foot, fake, pivot over the right shoulder. Just absolutely beautiful. Again, it's all about him being able to get to any spot on the floor with any footwork because he has polished that specific part of his game so well. Really impressive stuff from Kyrie Irving. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is what I thought was the hero of the game for Dallas late in this game. Big plays from their forwards defensively. Here we have a ball screen. On the ball screen, we get a slip, and PJ Washington is the low man here, right? So because the roller got behind the line of defense, he has to come off of Cam Whitmore in the corner, and he's got to help at the rim. He's going to get the block on Jock Landale, then he's going to run up the floor, and we're going to have he's got a smaller defender in front of him, so he's going to do a really nice job of tucking to gather the ball, taking the contact and finishing at the rim. See how he protects the ball? Look at how far he brought the ball over on his left side right here. Like he's bringing it way on his left side to protect, swinging that right shoulder through to clear out, getting the easy layup. Now we're going to get Maxi Kleber getting involved. I thought he was unbelievable defensively at the end of this game. This is going to be an example of a peel-off switch to get a steal. So this ball is going to end up in Kyrie Irving's hands. And when Jabari Smith sets the screen, Kyrie calls for the switch. And then Fred VanVleet kind of beats him to the side, but Kyrie Irving calls another switch. And he switches. Watch Kleber right here. He sees Kyrie's got him. He identifies that Luka's there, Kyrie's there. He knows now that he doesn't need to chase anymore. And so at the last second, he bails out on it and pulls back. Fred VanVleet tries to toss it back to Jabari Smith, and Kleber gets the steal. Here's a couple of stops. Same exact thing twice. Kleber getting switched onto Jalen Green and forcing him into tough pull-up threes and getting misses. Miss number one. Same sort of thing here. Ball screen, Kleber on an island. Look at this contest. That's just a lot of length to force a couple of big misses there. All right, let's get into crunch time. So it's 126, 125, and this is actually an example of a botched rotation from the Mavs. So Luka's going to linger in a hedge here. So Bullock is setting the screen, and he's going to slip out of it to the three-point line. Luka lingers in a hedge. Now, Jason Kidd has clearly set up a funky system of rotations here. Typically, this would be a hedge and recover, right? Luka would hang out just long enough for Exum to recover, and then Luka would recover. But instead, Luka points because it appears, you can see him immediately point. They do the windshield wiper rotation from the opposite end of the floor. So they're expecting Luka to basically recover to Dillon Brooks. But PJ Washington is slow. And so as you can see, Bullock slips. Washington should know this rotation is coming. You can see him kind of starting, but he's just too late. And when he makes that rotation, it's just too easy a look for too good of a shooter. So that gets it to 128, 126. As we know, Jabari Smith goes up and misses a couple of free throws. And now we're going to get our final sequence. This is just an example of Luka Doncic's gravity. So Bullock is guarding Exum, and Dillon Brooks is guarding Luka. He's going to throw that pitch. Reggie Bullock you can literally see it in his body language. This is oh shit body language. He's like, oh shit, here comes Luka, right? So he's like, oh no. And Dillon Brooks is chasing so hard from behind, and he gets there, but Dante Exum is wide open as a result. And Dante Exum has been dead on with his catch and shoot shooting this year. Ties the game and sends it to OT. Here we get another big play from Kleba at the rim on defense. Fred VanVleet's going to get downhill, and Kleba's going to block him on the opposite side of the rim. This is actually an example. So down the stretch of this game, the Rockets just started hard doubling the Mavs every single time. So here we're going to get a double team. A PJ Washington's going to slip to the middle of the floor. It's going to get swung through. Really good rotations from Houston. The ball ends up with Exum. And Exum is dribbling out to try to get the ball back to Luka. So he's looking at Luka, but Dillon Brooks is in full ball denial, literally 40 feet from the basket. And there's only 10 seconds left, and Kyrie's all the way down over here. So Exum basically has to try to make a play off the bounce. And he's like, sure, I can make plays with the ball in my hands. It used to be what I do. Hard crossover dribble on Fred VanVleet, easy to the basket for a layup. That's really valuable matchup attacking skill there from Dante Exum. All right, moving on. How about Maxi Kleber at the rim again? So Josh Green beats PJ Washington. Straight verticality from Kleber, gets a stop at the rim. Just unbelievable defensively. And then going the other way, we're going to get another impromptu double team, this time of Kyrie. Okay. Ball gets swung. There's an impromptu double team of Luka that gets swung to Kleber. Kleber's not in a position to score, so he just tosses it to Kyrie. We're going to get another impromptu double team from Jeff Green. This time, Kleber kind of slips into that opening, draws Jalen Green, and then PJ Washington gets a wide open corner three. So again, just the advantage of having stars that continually draw double teams means you're constantly in rotation, which means as long as you make good reads, you're going to get great looks. Good read there from Kleber. Wide open three for PJ Washington. And how about one more defensive effort for good measure? We're going to get, this time, Derrick Jones Jr. getting switched onto Jalen Green and making an athletic play to stop him at the rim. Big time win for the Mavs. It's crazy how they've turned their season around here down the stretch, just with incredible defense, rebounding, and obviously the power of their stars. All right. That's it for our film session. We're going to be headed into our top 10 contenders now. Actually, before we, to quick tie off on the Dallas bit, that to me, that Kleber, PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr., that to me is the main difference between Phoenix and Dallas. They're very similar in the sense that they have these incredible shot creators that are going to consistently draw multiple defenders. Phoenix is going to look better in a lot of those situations just simply because they have so much shooting around. And they don't have, guys like PJ Washington, Maxi Kleber, Derrick Jones Jr., where it's like, I could live with this guy shooting if I want to. Most of the rotation players for Phoenix are dead-eye shooters. That said, they simply do not have the type of versatile defensive forwards that Dallas can bring to the table. Guys like PJ Washington, guys like Maxi Kleber. So I actually think Phoenix has a little bit higher of a offensive ceiling than Dallas does, but I think Dallas has a little bit higher of a defensive ceiling, and I think that could end up boding even more well for them when they get to the postseason. I'm actually still up in the air for Phoenix and Dallas are like my biggest toss-up right now in my contender rankings, which we're going to get to later this week.